Thursday morning, and this is the view. This is what I would have been able to see yesterday. There is a lake around here, that's why it's Lake of the Clouds. That is Mount Washington up there with the towers on top. Here's the hut that was coming out of the mist yesterday, and there's the beautiful view. Plans have changed a little bit for today because there is a tropical storm remnants coming through. So going 14 to the road doesn't seem feasible. It's supposed to really start pouring around 1. So I'm going to stay here until 8 a.m. I'm going to check and see if there's room at the next hut, bite the bullet, pay for it again if there is, and do 7 miles there, and then stay at the hostel the next day. But that's the plan. We just got to see if it'll work. If not, I might have to stay here because hiking down Madison in pouring rain doesn't sound safe or smart. And the money's just money. You can't take it with you if you die falling off a mountain. All right. Well, that's the plan. Hard to believe that that is over 1,000 feet higher than where I am now. But that'll be the last high point on the trail, over 6,000 feet. And the second highest spot next to Klingman's Dome. So, but man, look at that view. There's a reason these places are expensive. It's not just the view, but it's certainly better than the view at the Econo Lodge. I'm told way down there in the distance is the Mount Washington Hotel, which I believe is right about where the Cog Railway starts that takes you up Mount Washington. So, all right, well, about to have breakfast here. Then I'm, like I said, going to try to figure out if there's availability. They have to radio over, and if there is, that's the plan. I think I can do 7 miles before 1, maybe even before noon. Terrain doesn't look too bad. No steep climbs, no crazy descents on that 7 miles. It's not until after it that you hit it. All right, well, I'm rambling, so let me stop and get back to you when I know. All right, once more into the breach. Climbing Washington. You can see it's clouded over and it started raining, so I couldn't get a guaranteed reservation the next hut, but I was told there should be plenty of room. 7 miles. Let's just keep our fingers crossed, because if there's not, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Be in a little bit of trouble probably. All right, well, this is rocky, so put the camera on. Made it to the top of Mount Washington. Still got a ways to go today, but this is what it looks like. And right up there is the summit. I just took some pictures. I'm not going to stay here too long, but I did want to get a picture of this sign over here, because this is the spot of the highest ever observed wind by man, 231 miles an hour. Well, that was a long time ago. I'm slightly skeptical about the accuracy of their equipment, but who knows, it was probably good. So, all right, well, this is it. There's the snack bar, I think, but it's closed. So I'm just gonna get off here and get to the shelter, because I do not want to be out here when the tropical storm remnants come through. I got about 6 miles left. All right, look at the view of the mountains from the other side of Mount Washington. I think I have to go somewhere down in this direction, but I'm not entirely sure. I do see a path down there, and right there's the auto road. People put signs on their car that say this car climbed Mount Washington. Well, that's great. I climbed Mount Washington too, and I started in Georgia, so I'm feeling a little proud of myself. And this is also the high point, so it's downhill the rest of the way. Again, this is the second highest point on the trail, but the highest point since Klingman's Dome. Klingman's Dome was mile 200. This is mile 1860. So highest point in 1,600 miles, highest point the rest of the way. And yeah, all right, I got 6 miles to go before the storm rolls in, like you said. going down the AT, which will cross these tracks here in a minute. But here we have the famous Mount Washington Cog Railway, which is the other primary way that tens of thousands of annual Mount Washington tourists get up, besides the auto road. They take this little train. I have no idea how long it takes. I do know it's like 75 bucks and it's not refundable because Mousy and her family were going to take it, and then weather changed those plans and they cannot get a refund. But certainly a lot easier than walking from Georgia, so probably worth it, and kind of looks like it could be fun. Although, man, the thing moves at a snail's pace. I guess when you're going up a mountain, that's what you expect. There it is. Maybe somebody will wave. There, somebody waved. Probably couldn't see it. Alright, I don't know if you can read that. It says Madison Hut 1 mile. Conditions, as you can see, have deteriorated quite a bit. I'm basically hoping I can see the next cairn every time I'm going through this boulder field, because if you couldn't, you would not be able to tell where you were going. There's mountains all around me. Obviously you can't tell that, but I gotta just book it this mile. It should be mostly downhill after this. Could be steep, but get to the hut and hope they have a spot, because I don't know what I'm gonna do if they don't. I think I mentioned that. All right, look at this. Just rocks everywhere. Do the huts have lice? This guy says they do. Well, AMC, that should be a discount. All right, made it to Madison Hut. Got here around 2. It's now about 6. They're getting ready for dinner, which is at 6. And the weather today was just like this, rainy, it's cold. So yeah, it's a little more than I wanted to spend, but definitely the right choice. And we're just gonna relax here and do another 7-mile day tomorrow and get to the hostel, which will be much more reasonable. And yeah, get dinner and breakfast and, you know, make it to the end. I don't think I could have done another 7 miles today anyway, with the terrain being the way it is and all wet and the climb. So all right, well, I'm gonna probably sign out for the night unless I do a quick walk around the hostel, but it's so crowded. I think it's a full house. Sleeps 52, so I probably won't. Just too many people. But yeah, if I don't, nothing else cool happens. Good night.